So one of the things that we see through this, everything that you just described with the, lack of a better term, disbursement of the Palestinians, if you will, or what they want to deem as the Palestinians, kind of leads us to another interesting point. Through all of this becomes militancy, right? We
Yes.
have all of these militant organizations that are beginning to be birthed through this process. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but it seems like historically, time-wise, the PLO seems to be the first one that kind of comes onto the scene and really declares, the term the Palestinian people. Is
Right.
that an
Yeah.
accurate statement?
Yasser, I believe that it was Yasser Arafat who first used that term.
Yeah, you had said
And
that earlier.
yeah, yeah. And there is, and see, when you learn what is in the book and what we've been talking about today, there's no such thing as a Palestinian people. They are all Arabs that immigrated from other Arab countries. And now
Yeah,
there may be a few that were indigenous, but they were still Arabs. They were Syrians. Their ancestors were. They were not. There's no such thing as a Palestinian. Has not been, and it was a term that was coined in the '60s.
yeah. The name Palestine, obviously, like we talked about earlier, kind of goes back to the Roman times.
Well, yes.
But yeah, yeah. So it's funny because there's a great interview, and anybody can go look it up on YouTube. There's a great interview with Gilda Meir, who was one of the early prime ministers,
Yes.
obviously, of Israel.
Yep.
And she even says, because her family was from that area, had never really moved away, and believe she was there all the time. And she said, there is no such thing. It's like everyone in this area this was what the area was known at.
Right.
Matter of fact, her ID card that she carried for years actually just had the name Palestine on it because that was what the area was known as.
Right.
It's not a people group.
No, not at
And
all.
and yeah, so through this whole PLO, Yasser Arafat, we now have tried to make this a people group. And
Right.
that's just completely inaccurate. But then you have the birthing of these other more militant organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah. So please share some of that if you would too.
Well, the truth is, all of that comes from Islam, from radical Islam. The In my opinion, well, let me back up. Most people today will tell you that Islam is not a pagan religion because they're monotheistic. In my opinion, Allah is the God Enlil from ancient Babylon. I believe that that's who he is. The interpretation of Enlil was the God. Allah is the God, and I believe that Allah was at one time, thousands and thousands of years ago, Enlil. And we also find that Enlil, in all likelihood, was one of the monikers for Satan himself. So,
Indeed, it was.
Satan goes by many names, and I believe that is the real problem.
Yes.
This is not a political problem. And I am sorry, George W. Bush. I am sorry anyone that says, or Pope John Paul II, he knows better now, uh, that said
Amen.
that Allah was the same God that we worship.
No.
Absolutely not. Allah is Enlil, who is Satan, and
Yes.
this is a spiritual problem. And what we saw on October 7th, that was one of the most flagrant displays of unimaginable evil. I can't even verbalize it. Okay,
Hmm.
it was, and I'll just leave it at that. One of the most flagrant displays of unimaginable evil that has come on the face of the earth in modern times,
Yeah,
and and there's only one source for something like that, and that is the forces of evil
that's
that
right.
that is either Satan or the entities that work with Satan. That's where it came from. That's who
Amen.
they are, and there's not a lot more to say about it. I am,
If you want to find out what ancient Babylon was like, that's a taste of it.
that's it. That's it.
You
And
know,
see,
the wickedness that was wrought on that day to infants, children, the despicable things that were done to them. Not It's not just going in and shooting someone and they're dead.
no,
This went well
no, it
beyond
will
that.
way beyond that. And see, the other problem that we have as modern 21st century citizens, I don't care what country you're in, we do not really understand the extreme debauchery. Uh, I don't know what other term to use, but the
Yeah.
extreme debauchery that went on in everyday pagan worship. And all of that is filtered into Islam. They may not do child sacrifice, they may not do those things, but this is nothing other than a pagan religion. And when these people give their hearts and their minds over to the spirits of the ancient gods or the spirits of demons or to the spirit of Satan or to Satan himself, this is what's going to happen. And that's what we're facing. And I don't know any other way to put it. I mean, I might be criticized for saying that, but I'm not sorry because that's what I see in the Word of God, and what we're seeing played out in front of us is the truth.